Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and today I bring you my review after 1 week of the Mi 10 Ultra versus the K30 Ultra. And both of these phones have been some of the most amazing releases that I have reviewed this year from Xiaomi. And in today's video, I do want to compare these two phones, going through the specs, but then specifically about what these phones represent in terms of Xiaomi and the market, and why the clamoring is so intense for global versions of these phones that a petition has now been signed for the release of these phones to the European market. And I don't think Xiaomi realized what a big impact they would make by releasing these phones but then announcing them just for China, because I do think both the Mi 10 Ultra and the K30 Ultra are representing what I think are unbeatable offerings at their respective price points. But let's start now going through this quick comparison, and then I want to get to some of these questions after 1 week of use here of these incredible devices. Let's have a look. So starting with the design, 9.5mm versus 9.1mm, and Xiaomi has created two incredibly well-designed phones here in the Mi 10 Ultra and the K30 Ultra. 221 grams versus 213, so they are hefty devices, but that's because they're using premium materials. Ceramic and aluminum on the Mi 10 Ultra, and Gorilla Glass 5 and aluminum on the K30 Ultra. Just two of the most premium feeling phones in their respective price points. And on the front, we see these gorgeous 6.67-inch displays. Yes, there's a punch hole on the Mi 10 Pro, but it also has this nice curved edge, which does feel a bit more premium, but it can't compare, in my opinion, to this uninterrupted display on the K30 Ultra. I love flat panel displays, and because they've been able to put a pop-up just like the K30 Pro, you get the most uninterrupted and gorgeous looking display on the market. With tiny bezels all around, and now with the included 120Hz refresh rate, Xiaomi is pretty much defining the gold standard here in terms of refresh rate and screen display technology. AMOLED and 120Hz is the place to be, and Xiaomi has achieved that here in both the Mi 10 Ultra and the K30 Ultra. But they've also achieved great things in terms of performance with the Snapdragon 865 on this Mi 10 Ultra and the Dimensity 1000 Plus. And while you are seeing the score of 605 here, this Mi 10 Ultra has achieved scores of upwards of 640,000. Meanwhile, the Dimensity 1000 Plus is proving to me to be an incredible chipset, and just like the Dimensity 820 is offering one of the fastest and most fluid experiences here. Yes, I do see the occasional stutter here on the K30 Ultra, but that is not the case with the Mi 10 Ultra. I don't think I've used a faster and more fluid phone this year than maybe the OnePlus 8 Pro and this phone. And powering it all, we have two identical battery capacities, 4,500 milliamperes versus 4,500, but with a big difference being in battery charging. 120 watts, which you guys have seen can get to 0 to 100 in 23 minutes versus the 33-watt fast charging and 1 hour charging time for the K30 Ultra. I still think you're getting an incredible experience for this phone, and even faster charging times than the best that companies like OnePlus have to offer with their Warp charging. And with dual speakers on both of these devices, ultra-fast fingerprint scanners, and really precise vibration motors that lead to a very comfortable typing experience, all made even smoother by a 240Hz touch sampling rate, L1 security level for DRM info for HD Netflix on board, and incredible cameras from the OmniVision OV48C on the Mi 10 Ultra and the Sony IMX682 on the K30 Ultra that produce incredible results both day and night at their respective price points of 5,300 RMB starting price for this Mi 10 Ultra and the incredible 1,999 RMB starting price for this K30 Ultra. Xiaomi meant business when they released these phones, and I feel these phones have truly redefined both the flagship level and the affordable flagship level, and the design, display, performance, and overall package that these phones bring to the table for the price. And so now here we go, guys, with part 2 of this video is to really answer a lot of the questions that you guys have been asking me about these phones. And a lot of these questions have to do with Xiaomi's decision not to release these globally, what that means, and what you can do about getting these incredible devices in your hands. But the first question I want to address is band support. So obviously, if you import these phones, will you get any support in your country? So let's go through each phone's band support, and I'll put links in the description where you can get this information as well. So for the Mi 10 Ultra, it supports 4G LTE bands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 17, 34, 38, 39, 40, 41. And the K30 Ultra supports bands 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 34, 38, 39, 40, and 41. And both of these phones support 5G bands N1, N3, N41, N78, and N79. And so in terms of support, I know the two bands that are missing here that are the biggest concern for all you European viewers, and that's bands 20 and 28. These phones do not support them, guys, and I know that omission is going to cause a lot of concern in terms of importing these devices. If you are in Asia, Hong Kong, or other regions, it's a non-issue, but just want to be completely clear, what are the bands that are supported by these two phones? And the second question concerns Google app support and compatibility. Frankie Tech, if these are China ROM versions of the phones, will they get any sort of Google support? Well, in the case of the K30 Ultra, it was a very similar experience. I did have to sideload. You see their Google installer, the Google apps. It takes 5 minutes, guys, and it's very easy to do. But in the case of the Mi 10 Ultra, it was a very different experience. And I was surprised because when I sideloaded Google apps, it was not working. I did a factory reset and then found out that if you go here to settings and account and sync, you'll see it right here. Google is actually pre-installed on the Mi 10 Ultra. And this was the first time I was seeing a China ROM phone have Google apps. That means all I had to do was download the Play Store from the Mi App Store and I was good to go. But what's even more amazing about this Mi 10 Ultra is that it also supports Google Pay. But you see it here, I have my credit card now linked with Google Pay to the Mi 10 Ultra. And that got me even more curious to perform the safety net test check. And you'll see here running the test once again that the Mi 10 Ultra did pass this test. Unfortunately, that's not the case with the K30 Ultra. And just like every other China ROM phone that I've used from Xiaomi failed this test. But what does that mean in the case of this Mi 10 Ultra? I have a theory, guys, and I think Xiaomi knows that this phone is going to be highly coveted by a lot of Xiaomi fans around the world. This Mi 10 Ultra pretty much is exhibiting all the signs of a phone that can be easily used in a global manner, with the one major omission being that language support is limited to the China ROM, which means you'll be using your phone in English or in these Asian languages. I do hope that Xiaomi is able to listen to its audience because these phones do offer incredible value, and even if they upmarked the prices of these phones by even 20%, I still think there would be a huge group of people interested in buying the global editions of the Mi 10 Ultra and the K30 Ultra. And the last question I want to address, Frankie Tech, where can I buy these phones? Well, I was certain it would be the case, and it definitely is, that the Mi 10 Ultra and K30 Ultra have now become the most highly anticipated phones for third-party resale in the world. And if you look at the pricing for both of these options, you're going to be paying around $380 to $400 for this K30 Ultra, and the pricing right now for the Mi 10 Ultra is in that $880 to $900 range. Now, you guys will need to answer this for yourself. Is it worth paying the premium for these phones? For the Mi 10 Ultra's incredible triple 120 features, the 120Hz refresh rate, the 120 times zoom, and 120 watt fast charging. I think it's a bit more of a difficult question to answer for this Mi 10 Ultra, and I think if you're a true die-hard Xiaomi fan and you want the best phone that they offer, you're gonna go and get this phone. But this K30 Ultra, even at $386, I think is still a bargain. And the price should only go down over time, which means you are getting what I consider the ultimate value champ in terms of price to performance ratio in this K30 Ultra. And some of you may say, but Frankie Tech, why don't I just get the Poco F2 Pro? I don't care about refresh rate, and it has a headphone jack and the 865, so I'm better suited for that. Well, if that's the case, go for it, and you'll be very happy with that phone. But let me tell you, once you've used 120 Hz on a display like this, there's no going back. And I think even at $450, this K30 Ultra would be a great deal. But at $386, what are you waiting for, guys? If you've never imported a phone before, now may be the time. And this K30 Ultra might be the perfect candidate, and even with a slight increase in price, you're still going to be getting one of the most amazing value champs of 2020. But all in all, guys, 1 week into using this Mi 10 Ultra and K30 Ultra, these phones have been game changers, and they truly define their specific price points in terms of value and quality. The Mi 10 Ultra practically beating every other flagship phone, and in the K30 Ultra, you are getting a phone that I truly believe Xiaomi is almost selling at cost. They are not making any money on this phone, and that's probably why they are so nervous to release these phones globally. And I think this may be the first time that Xiaomi created phones that were too good for the money. So much so that now they are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place of what to do about the global releases of these phones. Either way, I've loved my time with these phones, and they will be sticking around here on the channel because I truly think they are the gold standard in terms of price and value that you can get in a phone in 2020. But hit me up in the comments. Which is your preferred phone of these two, the Mi 10 Ultra and the K30 Ultra? And do you agree with me that these phones are unbeatable at their respective price points? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. So stay tuned, guys, for more great content here on the channel. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.